This bulletin is brought to you by Good Morning Vihalia. Enjoy the warmth and indulge in the deliciousness.
Good morning, good morning.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of the Election Commission? If you were stuck in a long queue on the 9th of May, then perhaps their tight ship mentality may have left a bitter taste in your mouth. So what about an overhaul? That's exactly what the Electoral Reform Committee is thinking about. Among a list of 15 reforms that they are tabling, one of them is to establish an electoral management body to possibly replace the EC. They are even looking into giving this body the power to register political parties and grant ballot access to parties and candidates. Now, whether or not that means that the Registrar of Societies will be out of business is another question altogether that they are yet to answer.
We will suggest the establishment of the appropriate organization to run election. It can be SPR, can be anything else, depending on what the country wants to call. But I believe the country will still call it SPR. Election Commission. If the Election Commission means, it means the commission is started by the Agong. You know, that's why I don't want to mention Election Commission, because the country may not want that kind of commission. But we will, kita akan tentukan, kita akan buat recommendation lah. Apa? Mungkin tidak lagi dipanggil commission, mungkin dipanggil benda lain. Saya pun tak tahulah. Pulang kepada itu. That's all.
I'm sure you remember Abdul Rashid Ab Rahman, don't you? Well, my generation doesn't, but yours might. He was a former Election Commission chairperson himself who recently joined PPBM. Now he's come out of retirement to be the ERC chairperson. But did he want this job in the first place? He said that he didn't ask for it, but, quote, unfortunately, they chose him.
Of course, there's a bit of controversy lah on the establishment of this. You know, somebody else wanted to do the job. You know, unfortunately, I was selected. Not that I asked to do this job. I've retired nicely, you know, peacefully, playing with my chuchu and so on. But I think they see me as a person who may probably deliver because of my background. But definitely, no, I've seen a lot of things outside, which I can use as my guideline.
Can you really be unfortunately employed in this modern day workforce? I mean, some people hate their jobs, so I guess so. Now, moving on, 83-year-old Amina Abdullah, the mother of former Rompin MP, the late Jamaluddin Jarjis, was at the Sharia High Court today to file for a Fara'id, or Islamic Wealth Distribution Certificate, for her share of Jamaluddin's estate. She wants to be recognized as one of the rightful claimants, along with Jamaluddin's widow and her 4 children. Among what Jamaluddin left behind are 22 landed properties in Malaysia, most of which in Pahang and the Klang Valley. Then there are 21 bank accounts, including one account in the United States, with a total sum of over 15 million ringgit. Now that's just the cash, by the way. Jamaluddin's entire estate, as per Amina's petition back in March, also consists of landed properties in Malaysia, Mecca, Saudi Arabia and the United States, along with shares in several companies. The total value of the estate is said to be worth at least 2.1 billion ringgit. Yeah, 2.1 billion, not million, billion ringgit. Under Islamic law, if a deceased individual does not leave a will, the mother is entitled to receive 1/6 of the descendant's estate, while his widow gets 1/8 and the children are to receive the remainder. Lawyer and activist Siti Kasim, like many Malaysians, hoped for change when Pakatan Harapan took Putrajaya in the 14th general elections. The Harapan government has time and again said that they are not able to meet their goal for 10 promises to be fulfilled in their first 100 days. Now they say they're trying hard, they're working towards it, but Siti actually thinks that they're way off target.
I hope there will be some change, but as it goes along, you know, after 100 days, I don't see that they are actually moving towards the change in which, you know, I kind of expected. In fact, it's big, you know, I see like they are not doing anything with regards to, you know, our concerns. And I have always said this, and I think I made it very public as well, that my main concern is about this religion and race issue. This is really the problem in our country right now. The corruption, you can overcome that. Economic problem, you can overcome that. But how do you overcome this issue on religion and race? This is a very, very serious matter. If we don't actually look into this, if our politicians do not use their position and the vehicles that they have in order to change the mindset of the Malays, I'm sorry to say, I'm a Malay, but there are not many Malays like me anymore. We are endangered species now, and the problem, it is very, very dangerous, because what I see, and I study these young Malays actually who make comments against, the values that I think most of us treasured. They are young Malays, young professional Malays.
Former Malaysian External Intelligence Organization or MEIO Chief Hassana Abdul Hamid was slammed with a 5-day remand order to facilitate an investigation by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission. You might remember a letter addressed to the CIA that was penned prior to GE14 asking for them to support former Prime Minister Najib Razak. Yeah, she's allegedly the one who wrote that. Yesterday, she was arrested in connection with investigations into the disappearance of millions of ringgit that was supposed to be used in the last general elections. A rather strange part about today's remand order is that Hassana has actually been denied access to her lawyer.
SPRM requested for 7 days, 7 hari, tapi mahkamah membenarkan hanya 5 hari. Tetapi yang mengambil masa yang lama ialah bantahan kami terhadap satu pemberitahu yang dikeluarkan oleh SPRM untuk menghalang peguam daripada berunding dengan Datuk Hasanah sepanjang tempoh riman tersebut. Pemberitahu oleh SPRM ini dikeluarkan di bawah Seksyen 28A bracket 8. Lazimnya peguam boleh dirundingi oleh anak guam, ya, just like any other case. But since they have issued this letter, that stopped me from seeing my client for the entire duration of the remand. Jadi the latest instruction yang saya terima daripada Datuk Hasanah adalah untuk mencabar Seksyen 28A bracket A di Mahkamah Tinggi ataupun di Mahkamah Persekutuan, because we feel kerana isu ini melibatkan keselamatan negara dan sebagainya, we need to get a ruling from the federal court on this point.
Malaysia's first multi-grains brand. The champion is Good Morning. Our final story for today is about specialist doctors. You know, the people whom you get referred to when the polyclinic can't solve your ailments. In response to Health Minister Zulkifli Ahmad saying that the ministry is faced with a shortage of specialists, especially oncologists and geriatricians, Parti Socialist Malaysia has called for the government to apply a temporary freeze on private hospital projects to avoid government specialist doctors leaving to pursue private practice. PSM Central Committee member Dr. Michael Jayakumar Devaraj, who is a medical doctor himself and a practicing one at that, highlighted that many public hospitals have lots of patients, but many of the specialist doctors are actually with the private hospitals. Do you think that freezing new private hospital projects is a good idea to move forward, or does Malaysia's healthcare system need a much bigger overhaul? Now, be reminded that we have a pretty decent healthcare system that is actually envied by some people as far as the United States, where there is no universal healthcare implemented. But let's talk about it in the comments, because I want to hear what you think. Let's talk on Twitter as well. Hit like, follow, subscribe, and share this video. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching.